So I've taken off the top of my cake. I'm going to cut this now into 3 equal layers. I always like to sort of eyeball and mark where my thirds would be. And then when I'm cutting, it's important to stand straight, upright. That top tier always comes off, and you can use that for making things like rum balls, for decorating the side of your cake, whatever the case may be. Again, I'm standing upright when I'm cutting this into my layers so that I can cut those layers nice and flat. I like to use my middle tier or my middle layer as my bottom. My top is my middle, and then my bottom is my top. Before I start assembling, I always take a moment to clean off any residual crumbs. I'm going to soak each layer with the solution that I had canned the peaches in. So again, this is brandy, lime juice, honey, and water, and a lot of vanilla bean. And then it has a peachy quality from the peaches that were canned in it. I'm going to take my honey buttercream and I'm going to bag it. Anytime I am filling a cake with a soft filling, I always want to pipe a dam out of buttercream to hold that soft filling in place. My lime curd. As I mentioned before, if I'm making a larger cake, I would put a little bit of gelatin in this lime curd just so that it holds its shape a little bit better. And I'm going to layer the peaches in here. My second tier goes on. I like to take my fingers through the sides, make sure it's lined up, and then I'll take the cake board, press it down lightly so that it levels off. The bottom of my cake will be the top. I'm going to just soak it lightly on the exposed layer before I flip it over. And the reason we use the bottom layer as the top is it's nice and squared from the cake pan, which makes my job a little bit easier. Make sure you remove your parchment liner. Use your fingers to true it. Make sure it's straight, lined up on the edges. Then I'll take the cake board. Again, I'll press in the center. And I'll soak the cake. Soaking accomplishes a few things. It not only is going to provide more of this sunshiny flavor we have with the honey and the brandy and the peaches, but it also locks my crumbs down, so it makes my job in masking this in buttercream a little bit easier. I'm going to refrigerate this for a couple of moments while I reset for masking the cake. So whenever we're masking a cake with buttercream, we want to begin by coating the top and put a generous quantity of buttercream down. And then I'm going to bring it out gently beyond the edge of the cake, leveling it off until it's about 1/4 inch thick. I don't want it to be too thick, otherwise it won't be enjoyable to eat. It'll be too rich. And this has got so many good flavors in it, I don't want to cancel anything out. I like to use a bench scraper to true my edges. So I angle it at 45 degrees from the cake. I start at 12 o'clock, and then I bring the turntable back to 6 o'clock, maintaining a constant angle. And then I want to stop. I want to get eye level with it. Check to see that it's fairly square, which it is. And now I'll go back and I'll snap my edges in. So I start beyond the cake itself before snapping those edges in. I may decide I want to put this cake on a presentation board before I decorate it. I'm going to take my palette knife, pop it under the cake. I'll take a second knife and go across it before removing it from the cake board and depositing it carefully. And then I'm going to give this a simple decoration, piping a bottom border. And marking it for slicing. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make the Sangria honey cake. To view and print the full formula, please consult www.bakingwithhoney.com.